Madam Clerk, are we ready to go?
We are ready.
Very good. I'd like to call the meeting of the Wayne County Commission to order. Madam Clerk, will you please call the roll for attendance?
Each member is acknowledging that they are attending the meeting via Zoom and that they are located in Wayne County, Michigan, unless otherwise stated when I call your name. Commissioner Anderson.
Here.
Commissioner Basham.
Here.
Commissioner Clark-Coleman. Commissioner Clark-Coleman. Commissioner Daub.
Here.
Commissioner Hattis.
Present.
Commissioner Killeen.
Right here.
Commissioner Kinlock.
Present.
Commissioner Kniezek.
Here.
Commissioner Marecki.
Here.
Commissioner Baker McCormick.
Here.
Commissioner Scott.
Present.
Commissioner Varga.
Present.
Vice Chair Pro Tem Baydoun.
Present.
Vice Chair Palomera.
Here.
Chair Bell. Commissioner Clark-Coleman. You have a quorum present.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Next item.
Invocation.
The invocation today the invocator will be introduced by Commissioner Melissa Daub. Commissioner Daub.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. We do have a change in our invocator from what I have listed on the agenda for today. I'm honored to introduce Wayne County's Director of Veteran Services, Kwesi Betsarai, as our invocator for today. Mr. Betsarai joined the county after nearly 30 years of serving our country in the United States Army. During that time, he trained soldiers scheduled to deploy to the Middle East, Africa, and Kosovo. He has also earned numerous awards, including the Bronze Star and Meritorious Service Medal. Kwesi now continues his life of service through his work in the Department of Health, Human, and Veteran Services, helping veterans throughout the county. I'm proud to call him one of my constituents here in District 10. We're experiencing very difficult times in our country. We've lost so much due to the COVID-19 pandemic, wildfires, hurricanes, flash floods, and civil unrest. And recently, as the United States ended the war in Afghanistan, we tragically lost an additional 13 service members. War is a complex issue. And as we approach the 20th anniversary of 9/11, it's natural for us to experience a range of emotions: sadness, anger, despair, and confusion. Many people turn to prayer in times like these. I take comfort in knowing that I have a community of people here in Wayne County who continue to work to make things better. And Mr. Betsarai is definitely one of those people. And so now I will turn over the virtual microphone to you, Kwesi. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Daub. And as you just mentioned, that's my commissioner right there. Although I love all the commissioners, that's my commissioner. And I want to thank you again for giving me this opportunity to speak. As we communicated yesterday, this was a very touchy subject with the deaths of the service members in Afghanistan. And as she mentioned in my my bio, I spent a lot of time in the Middle East. And I spent a lot of time training service members and contractors that are going to go overseas to support whatever mission the United States had. And so what I'll share briefly is that when I was overseas on a variety of missions from Saudi, Kuwait, Iraq, and just the Middle East, when I went on missions, I didn't see enemies. You know, when I went through these missions, I saw family members. I saw moms and dads. I saw children. I saw pets. I saw small homes and large homes. And so I wanted to just put that out there, as we sometimes in this political space, we try to maybe demonize people, but But I just wanted to share that some of my observations without going too far into the weeds. And I just want to go ahead and just start and say, you know, God has a plan. God has a plan for all of us, right? And I would always say God is good all the time, and all the time God is good, right? And so what I would ask everybody on this call, those who can hear my voice, is just go ahead and let's bow our heads, close your eyes, and open your hearts. And I'd just like to say a few words. Most kind and loving Father, we thank you for this day. We are grateful that you are a God who sits on high, but at the same time dwells with your people. As we invoke the power of your presence in this meeting and in the workplace, we're careful to ask you to forgive us our trespasses and to cast them in the sea of forgetfulness, never to remember them again. Now, Father, enter our hearts, minds, and every space that we discover ourselves, that we might execute the work of the people of Wayne County in the spirit of excellence. As we place our hands to the plow, God, and that you might find favor in our service, and as our light shines, you get all the glory in what we do. These things we ask in the matchless and omnipotent name of Jesus. Thank you, God. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Kwesi, for that prayer
Thank
and
you, sir.
for
Thank you.
thank you, Commissioner Dobb.
Thank
Madam
you.
Clerk, next item. Madam Clerk,
My apologies. Commissioner Clark Holman has joined the meeting. Reading, correcting, and approval of the journal.
is there a motion?
Move for
So moved.
approval.
Support Maraki.
It's been moved and supported to approve the reading, correction, and approval of the journal. All those in favor say aye.
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 All those opposed? Motion carries. Madam Clerk.
Report from the chair.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. I have a few items to report on. First being the order of the agenda today, that we're going to deal with the matters before us. After the report from the chair and the unfinished business, which hopefully have any, we are going to go to resolutions, where we will take up the resolution on sickle cell anemia, and then we will take up the resolution on the addenda. After that, we will then go to report H from the Committee of the Whole, which is the adoption of the budget for the 2021-2022 calendar. Also, I would like to note that there appears to be an inordinately large amount of people on this in this Zoom meeting. And I would just like to refresh everybody of something that may be generating interest in this meeting. As it relates to this meeting. There was a recent order by the Wayne County Director of Health ordering a mask mandate in public schools. This is not an order of the Wayne County Commission. The Wayne County Commission has no authority to enact such order, nor does it have any authority to overturn such order. That authority vests with the health director, as stated in state law by state statute. As such, people are certainly entitled to their comments, but if they expect the Wayne County Commission to be able to overturn that, they are mistaken in their interpretation of the law. I would like to call upon Felicia Johnson at this time to give further clarity to what the commission can or cannot do on the matter of mask mandates in schools.
Mr. the Chair, there's something missing in the agenda. I didn't see it here. For change, I didn't see the Pledge of Allegiance.
I'm not sure that we've had the Pledge of Allegiance, Commissioner Haydes, for the last several meetings, but we can bring that up for a future meeting.
You are correct, Commissioner. I believe the pledge has not been done since we've been on Zoom.
Right.
That is my understanding. I know Pam can correct me if I'm wrong, but it has not occurred in recent meetings, and I don't believe it's occurred since Zoom.
That's correct.
So with regards to the comments that you called on me for, again, this is the attorney for the county commission. You are correct, Commissioner, in your statements that under the Michigan Public Health Code, which is a state law, it is the county health department through its public health officer that issues public health orders, including the recent school mask mandate order. This body, the county commission, is not authorized to issue public health orders. This body has not issued any public health orders. This body does not vote on public health orders, and this body cannot override a public health order.
Thank you for that clarification, legal counsel. And I also want to note that Commissioner Bell, Chairwoman Bell, has joined the meeting. Madam Clerk, next item.
We are moving to unfinished business. There is none listed. Next item is offering of all petitions, ordinances, resolutions, and presentations. There is one resolution listed on the agenda and one on the addenda. Item number 1 is a resolution by Commissioners Bell and Kinlock recognizing September 2021 as Sickle Cell Disease Awareness Month and urging individuals born with the trait and experiencing complications to remain proactive and follow the instructions of medical staff to stave off this terrible disease.
Commissioner Kinlock.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. At this time, I would like, if you would permit, for the Secretary to allow for some brief comments from Dr. Wanda Witten Cerny, who is the CEO of Sickle Cell Disease Association, as well as a chief medical doctor.
That is in order. Go right ahead, doctor.
Okay, thank you so much, Chairman and Commissioner Kinlock, for this opportunity to speak to you. As he mentioned, I'm the CEO and Medical Director of the Sickle Cell Disease Association of America. And I know that the Director of Veteran Services talked about missions and about battles. And we have definitely a mission to maximize the quality of life of individuals living with sickle cell disease, particularly here in the state of Michigan. We think we have about 3,000 people in Michigan with sickle cell disease. And the most important concern at this moment is that when our patients turn 18, and have to transfer to adult services, there's nowhere for them to go, and they're receiving a lot of their care in the emergency rooms. That's an issue that really needs to be addressed. And a part of the problem with the care in the emergency room is that although the hallmark of sickle cell disease is excruciating, unpredictable pain that interferes with every aspect of your life, when they go to the emergency room, they're frequently treated as drug seeking. So September is Sickle Cell Awareness Month. And one of the things that I say is that people don't know much about sickle cell disease, and then what they do know is wrong. So we will be having people walking through the entire month of September wearing a shirt saying sickle cell matters because the pain is real. We actually see a peak in mortality at the time of transition from pediatric to adult care. And the adult clinic at the University Health Center is severely under-resourced. And we need to really do something about that because literally our patients are dying in the streets. You know, we talk about warriors in battle. You know, individuals living with sickle cell disease frequently refer to themselves as warriors. And I think that that's appropriately true. I actually am attending a funeral this Saturday of an individual that died at age 20 from complications of sickle cell disease. And one of the things that's going on now is that we're just managing complications and we're not providing wellness. And there are lots of advances in sickle cell disease now with 3 new medications, but adult patients can't get the medications if they don't have the providers to take care of them. So I just want you to be aware that there's a significant problem with sickle cell disease in Michigan, and that the issue is not sickle cell trait as is stated in the program, because sickle cell trait is basically a carrier state and you rarely have complications from sickle cell trait. But if you get a sickle gene from both parents, then you have sickle cell disease, and that's when all the problems arise. I'd be happy if anybody has any questions for me, but I just really appreciate the opportunity to speak to you about something that I've dedicated my life to and I'm trying to make changes so that our warriors can have better lives.
Dr. Cerny, I want to thank you for coming on with this short notice, but also I want to thank you for allowing for Chairwoman Bell and myself to join with you in recognizing officially through the County Commission, through this resolution, Sickle Cell Disease Awareness Month. So thank you, and we absolutely will continue to be in touch.
Thank you so much.
With that, Mr. Chair, I move the adoption of the resolution.
There is support. Is there any further discussion on the resolution?
Would like to also open it up for anyone who would like to be co-sponsors of the resolutions as well.
We will do so after we take a voice vote. Is there any further discussion on the resolution? Hearing none, all those in favor of approving the resolution say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? Motion carries. Is there anyone at all that does not care to be a co-sponsor of this resolution? Please indicate so at this time. Hearing none, all commissioners will be co-sponsors of the resolution as introduced and adopted.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Commissioner. Next item, Madam Clerk.
We're moving to the addenda, item number 2, under offering of all petitions, ordinances, resolutions, and presentations. A resolution by Commissioner Bell authorizing the Wayne County Commission and county boards, commissions, and councils, being local public bodies, to continue meeting remotely by electronic, telephonic, or video conferencing by hybrid means or in person when a local body makes the determination that in-person meetings may be safely held on or after September 7, 2021 through December 31st, 2021.
Consider
Move
read.
adoption.
It's been moved by Commissioner Kinlock,
Support.
supported by the first person that said support,
Commissioner Scott.
Commissioner Scott. Is there any discussion? Commissioner Bash.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Most commissioners probably know my position on this. I'm hoping, and shame on you if you haven't, that all commissioners and staff have got their shots. I'm hoping that we social distance and wear a mask. But if other entities in the state of Michigan, and including the latest one I just got was the Washtenaw County schools are going to require all kids to meet, but also wear a mask, which is the proper thing. I think that the commission should actually be meeting in person also. So that's my opinion. I'm just one of 15, but I had to express it because I honestly feel that way. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Dobb.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I know that we've discussed this before, and I would just like to briefly go over my my opinion on this. I do support this resolution. I understand that kids are going back to school. We are encouraging safety precautions for them to do so because we want them to be in person. We have found that that's the best way for them to learn, kids in school. But we as a commission, we've been working, we've been doing the work just fine remotely. And I've talked about this before, remote work is still work. And I think that anything we can do to mitigate the spread of COVID-19, vaccinated or not, we just need to continue to take every safety precaution that we can to stop this pandemic. So those are my thoughts on this, and I support the resolution. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Commissioner Dobb. Any other commissioners care to comment or discuss this resolution? Hearing none, we will take a record roll call vote on this resolution. There is a motion to approve. It does have support. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Anderson,
Yes.
Commissioner Basham,
No.
Commissioner Clark Coleman,
Yes.
Commissioner Dobb,
Yes.
Commissioner Hattis,
Yes.
Commissioner Killeen,
Aye.
Commissioner Kinlock,
Yes.
Commissioner Knizik,
Yes.
Commissioner Morecki,
Yes.
Commissioner Baker McCormick,
Yes.
Commissioner Scott,
Yes.
Commissioner Varga,
Yes.
Vice Chair Pro Tem Baydoun,
Yes.
Vice Chair Palomera,
Yes.
Chair Bell.
Yes.
Motion carries, and I have Commissioner Basham as a no.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. We'll now go to Report H from the Committee of the Whole. Madam Clerk.
Report H from the Committee of the Whole, there is one item listed, approval of the recommended comprehensive executive budget and appropriations ordinance for fiscal year 21-22 and projected fiscal year 22-23, and budget language instructions and technical amendments 1 through 8 to the Wayne County Executive's 2021-22 recommended comprehensive budget and appropriations ordinance as amended.
Considered read. Thank you, Madam Clerk. Chairperson of Ways and Means, Commissioner Varga.
Thank you very much. I move approval of this item as amended. And I, along with the staff, will take any questions that you may have.
Support.
There is a motion to approve. It does have support. Before we take up that item, I would also accept a motion to open a public hearing on the budget.
Move to open the public hearing.
Moved by Commissioner Varga, supported by Commissioner Baydoun to open a public hearing on the 2021-22 budget. Voice vote is in order. All those in favor of opening the public hearing on the budget, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. A public hearing on the budget and the budget only is in order at this time. There will be time for public comment on other matters that are not germane to the budget later on in the agenda. So are there any comments about the budget before us? Madam Clerk, I have not heard of anyone who wants to comment on the budget before us. One
Move to
last try.
close the
Support.
public hearing.
It's been moved to close the public hearing on the budget. It does have support. All those in favor of closing the public hearing on the budget, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? The public hearing on the budget has been closed. Madam Clerk, we are back to approval of the item. Is there anyone who cares to comment on the budget or discuss it at this time?
If I may, Mr. Chair, this is Chairwoman Bell.
Oh, yes, go right ahead, Madam Chair.
Thank you. I just want to again thank Chair Varga and the entire Ways and Means Committee, as well as everyone, all of our commissioners for the budget. Especially thank our staff, Mark Abbo, Terrence, and Mary. Our fiscal staff is amazing. We worked very well this year with the administration, with the CFO, and other members of the administration, and we were able to come with a wonderful budget that still presents some challenges that Wayne County has, but it also presents some of the successes that we have as far as the $15 an hour, as far as working on the Marine unit building. So much good things are in this budget, and I'm so happy that we were able to do it despite being in the middle of a pandemic. So thank you all so much for all of your hard work. I look forward to this budget going forward for the 21-22 season. And of course, I must remind everyone that the budget is a living and breathing document, and it will change throughout the year as dictated and as necessary. Thank you all so much. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Any other commissioners care to comment or have discussion on the motion to approve the budget? Hearing none, Madam Clerk, record roll call vote is in order.
Commissioner Anderson,
Yes.
Commissioner Basham,
Yes.
Commissioner Clark-Coleman,
Yes.
Commissioner Daub,
Yes.
Commissioner Hattis,
Yes.
Commissioner Killeen,
Aye.
Commissioner Kinlock,
Yes.
Commissioner Knizik,
Yes.
Commissioner Morecki,
Yes.
Commissioner Baker McCormick,
Yes.
Commissioner Scott,
Yes.
Commissioner Varga,
Yes.
Vice Chair Pro Tem Baydoun,
Yes.
Vice Chair Palomera,
Yes,
Chair Bell,
Yes.
motion carries.
thank you, Madam Clerk. And once again, congratulations to Commissioner Varga, Chair of the committee, and all those committee members. I believe this is the earliest that the budget has been approved in several years. Commissioner Varga, any last comments on the budget?
Thank you very much. I want to thank everyone for their vote. I want to take this opportunity to thank those commissioners who Zoomed in. Most of you have Zoomed in during all of these committee meetings that we had throughout the month. And we had late calls into the night from many of you. So I really appreciate all the participation from all of you. This is the first year that I recollect where we had so many of our commissioners be hands-on with this budget. So I congratulate all of you for joining me to create this budget, even though it has its challenges. We look forward to fixing some of those with retention of our employees. And I would be remiss if I didn't say that our staff, from the ones who run the Zoom to the ones that put out the agendas, all of our staff, especially our fiscal staff, are just amazing. And I hope that we will be able to retain them for a long, long time. I would like to call on Mark Abel to talk about our staff maybe a little bit more. Mr. Abel.
Thank you, Commissioner Varga. And there's so much that can be said about our staff. I'd like to acknowledge my colleagues, Terrence Adams and Mary Carr, professionals in every sense of the word, for their dedication and commitment on this long process. And also acknowledge our CFO, Huey Newsome, administrative staff, and his direct staff for all of their cooperation on this process as well. And it can't go unsaid, the participation and involvement of everybody involved in all the personnel of the commission, particularly our counsel, Felicia Johnson, for her in-depth review of budget instructions. It was very, very much appreciated. And Pam Lane and her staff for always assuring that agendas and data were very timely. It was always very comforting, when I talked to Pam Lane, for her to say to me, Mark, I've got your back, don't worry about it. So when it comes to process, so thank you very much to everybody involved.
Thank you. And to finish it off, I would like to thank the administration for always being open to our ideas, our suggestions, and working with us throughout the year. This budget did not start just in July. We have been talking all year long about the needs of our citizens. So there has been, even though the meetings of Ways and Means was taking place in July and August, we have been working behind the scenes on this for a long, long time. So thank you to the administration and all of the budget people who helped us create this. So thank you, everyone. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Commissioner Varga, and thanks to everyone who had a hand in both crafting and approving this budget today. Back to reports from committees. Next item, Madam Clerk.
We are returning to page 2 of the agenda, reports from committees. Report A is from the Committee on Economic Development. There are 7 items listed on pages 2 and 3 of the agenda.
Commissioner Haydes.
Thank you, Mr. Vice Chair. I would like to move item 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 to receive and file, and approve 6 and 7.
Support Anderson.
It's been moved and supported to approve report A. Is there any discussion?
Yes, Mr. Chair. Colleen?
Commissioner Colleen, I see you. Go right ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. On items 1 and 2, the U.S. Ecology looking for modification. I know that's a receive and file item that they're notifying, but they operate both on the east side of Detroit and out in Van Buren Township. Is there somebody from our solid waste division that could describe what the modification is that U.S. Ecology is looking for?
Mr. Chair, Andrew Candrevas on behalf of the CEO's office. I do not believe that Mr. Cullen is present here. This was not, as the commissioner stated, this was not a discussion item at committee.
I didn't expect him, but I was just hoping he would.
I don't see him on our list of participants.
Okay, I'll catch up with him later. Thanks,
I
Mr.
know,
Candrevas. Oh,
I know one thing before is we discussed those issues, changing the type of liner they use from thinner than the one they used before, but it has certain quality and a protection for the environment, if not more than the other one. I know I remember a while ago we discussed that, and we have a few meetings in Romulus over the area for that change. And I think in the end, it was approved by the state and by the county. And I think this item, it's catching up with other area where they need to change the liner.
Thank you, Commissioner. Any other discussion on report A? Hearing none, a record roll call vote is in order. Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Anderson,
Yes.
Commissioner Basham,
Yes.
Commissioner Clark Coleman, Commissioner Daub,
Yes.
Commissioner Hattis,
Yes.
Commissioner Colleen,
aye.
Commissioner Kinlock,
Yes.
Commissioner Knizik, Commissioner Knizik,
Yes.
Commissioner Marecki,
Yes.
Commissioner Baker McCormick,
Yes.
Commissioner Scott,
Yes.
Commissioner Varga,
Yes,
Vice Chair Pro Tem Baydoun,
Yes.
Vice Chair Palomera,
Yes,
Chair Bell,
Yes.
motion carries.
thank you. Next item.
We're moving to report B from the Committee on Public Services. There are 8 items listed on pages 3 through 6 of the agenda.
Commissioner Marecki.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I would like to move to receive and file number 2 and move approval for items 1, 3, and 3 through 8, with Commissioner Baydoun being the maker of the motion on number 4.
Support.
There is a motion to approve. It does have support. Is there any discussion on the motion? Any discussion from any commissioners on the motion to approve report B?
Mr. Chair,
Yes, Commissioner Anderson.
I just want to, it's probably a good time to inject for those that are viewing, since we have a larger than normal crowd, that these items are all discussed at length in committee, and that the fact that we're not going through each item with discussion once again, that report has already been taken care of in committee. So that was all.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Basham.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I just know that item number 8 is a cooperative agreement. It's a modification to it, which, you know, I don't support sole source or those kinds of agreement normally, but I've done my research on this, and so I'll be reluctantly supporting it. So thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Is there any other discussion from commissioners on report B? Hearing none, Madam Clerk, will you please call the roll for a record roll call vote?
Commissioner Anderson,
Yes.
Commissioner Basham,
Yes.
Commissioner Clark Coleman,
Yes.
Commissioner Dobb,
Yes.
He still only gets one vote.
that was a yes. Commissioner Dobb,
Yes, it was. Yes.
thank you. Commissioner Hattis,
Yes.
Commissioner Khalil,
Aye.
Commissioner Kinlock,
Yes.
Commissioner Knizik,
A no on item 1 and a yes on the rest, please.
duly noted. Commissioner Morecki,
Yes.
Commissioner Baker McCormick,
Yes.
Commissioner Scott,
Yes.
Commissioner Varga,
yes,
Vice Chair Pro Tem Baydoun,
Yes.
Vice Chair Palomera,
Yes.
Chair Bell.
Yes.
Motion carries, and I have Commissioner Knizik as a no on 1 and Commissioner Baydoun as the maker of the motion on number 4.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Next item.
We are on report C from the Committee on Ways and Means. There are 4 items listed on pages 6 and 7 of the agenda.
Commissioner Varga,
I move approval.
Support. Baydoun.
been moved by Commissioner Vargas, supported by Commissioner Baydoun to approve report C from the Committee on Ways and Means. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Anderson,
Yes.
Commissioner Basham,
Yes.
Commissioner Clark Coleman,
Yes.
Commissioner Dobb,
Yes.
Commissioner Hattis,
Yes.
Commissioner Khalil,
Aye.
Commissioner Kinlock,
Yes.
Commissioner Knizik,
Yes.
Commissioner Morecki,
Yes.
Commissioner Baker McCormick,
Yes.
Commissioner Scott,
Yes.
Commissioner Varga,
Yes,
Vice Chair Pro Tem Baydoun,
Yes.
Vice Chair Palomera,
Yes,
Chair Bell.
Yes.
Motion carries.
thank you. Next item.
We are moving to report D from the Committee on Health and Human Services. There are 4 items listed.
Commissioner Baker McCormick,
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'd like to move approval, item 1 through 4.
Support.
it's been moved and supported to approve report D, items 1 through 4. Is there any discussion? Commissioner Basham.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Can someone explain why items 1, 2, and 3 are retroactive?
Do we have someone from the administration talk to that, please?
Yes, Carol Osterbury from the Health, Human, and Veteran Services Department. And these are lease agreements when we were in the process of opening up the COVID-19 vaccine clinics and needed to get those clinics open because of the surge we were having, and getting the leases then, we needed to get them open for the protection of public health and to get those vaccines into arms. So that is why these are retroactive.
Well, if I can interject, that's why we have extradition approval under health and safety. We have the ability so that we don't have to deal with retroactive contracts to actually just move them under extradition approval. And this certainly applies. So again, I'm looking at the overall retroactive sole source contracts, and we could actually prevent probably at least half of these. So I just wanted to get my 2 cents in. Thank you.
Certainly. Thank you. And because these are leases, we did explore that option. Because these are leases, procurement does not have a emergency procurement for a lease. That is not under the procurement, or we did explore that option. You are correct, Commissioner Basham.
Okay, and to that point, then maybe that's something we should look at as a commission so that we can work with the administration a little tighter. So we will look at that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other commissioners?
Mr. Chair, to that point, Colleen?
Yes, go right ahead, Commissioner.
Yeah, I just want to let my colleague, Commissioner Basham, know that those were questions that were also asked in committee about how we got here. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Commissioner. Any other comments or discussion on report D? Hearing none, a record roll call vote is in order. Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Anderson,
Yes.
Commissioner Basham,
Yes.
Commissioner Clark Coleman,
Yes.
Commissioner Dobb,
Yes.
Commissioner Hattis,
Yes.
Commissioner Colleen,
Aye.
Commissioner Kinlock,
Yes.
Commissioner Knizik,
Yes.
Commissioner Morecki,
Yes.
Commissioner Baker McCormick,
Yes.
Commissioner Scott,
Yes.
Commissioner Varga,
Yes.
Vice Chair Pro Tem Baydoun,
Yes.
Vice Chair Palomera,
Yes,
Chair Bell,
Yes.
motion carries.
thank you. Next item.
We're moving to page 8 of the agenda, report E from the Committee on Public Safety, Judiciary, and Homeland Security. There are 2 items listed.
Thank you, Commissioner Clark Coleman.
Thank you, sir. Sitting chair. I move approval on item 2 and receive and file on item 1. Support.
It's been moved and supported to approve items 1 and 2 in report E. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, Madam Clerk, a record roll call vote is in order. Please call the roll.
Commissioner Anderson,
Yes.
Commissioner Basham,
Yes.
Commissioner Clark Coleman,
Yes.
Commissioner Dobb,
Yes.
Commissioner Hattis,
Yes.
Commissioner Colleen,
Aye.
Commissioner Kinlock,
Yes.
Commissioner Knizik,
Yes.
Commissioner Morecki,
Yes.
Commissioner Baker McCormick,
Yes.
Commissioner Scott,
Yes.
Commissioner Varga,
Yes.
Vice Chair Pro Tem Baydoun,
Yes.
Vice Chair Palomera,
Yes,
Chair Bell,
Yes.
motion carries.
thank you. Next item.
We're moving to report F from the Committee on Government Operations. There are 4 items listed on pages 8 and 9 of the agenda.
Commissioner Dobb.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'd like to move items 1 and 2 to receive and file, and items 3 and 4 for approval. And I'd like to invite Corporation Counsel's James Heath to speak on item number 3.
Thank you very much. Hang on one second, Mr. Heath. There is a motion to approve. Is there support?
Support.
There is support by Commissioner Colleen. Mr. Heath, Corporation
Please scroll
Counsel.
down. Thank you very much, Madam, Mr. Chairman, and Chair Dobb for Government Operations. I appreciate the opportunity to speak with you briefly on the appointment of Sue Hammoud to be Deputy Corporation Counsel. I was unable to attend the Government Operations meeting last week where her appointment was initially considered, and she gave testimony, and I understand you grilled her pretty hard, so I appreciate that. However, I would like to just mention how grateful I am for Sue and her willingness to step up into this very, very important role. Sue's a veteran of Corporation Counsel. For the last several years, she's headed our litigation team, where she's dealt with a number of very, very important issues and complex issues. Most recently, she kind of spearheaded our effort in responding to jail COVID issues, where we had litigation involving attorneys all across the country, and Sue led a team that very deftly handled that. She has already started to have a great value add to the department in the new role as deputy, and I'm very, very happy for her consideration to be before you today. I also think it's important at this time for me to publicly thank Cheryl Jordan for partnering with me over the last several years as Deputy Corporation Counsel. Cheryl has been a wonderful leader in our department, and we owe a lot of the advancements that we've made over the last several years to her directly. And so I want to thank her for her role that she's played. My sadness at her leaving is only tempered by the fact that she is remaining with the county in a very, very important role, working out of the executive's office. And so we continue to be one big family, and look forward to moving forward. And thank you for your consideration of Sue. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Commissioner Anderson.
Thank you, Vice Chair Palomero. I just wanted to, I believe that James Heath just answered my question, which was this a replacement or was this a new position, but an additional position? But I think he answered that by saying it was a replacement for Cheryl Jordan. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Any other discussion on Report F? Hearing none, a record roll call vote is in order. Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Anderson,
Yes.
Commissioner Basham,
Yes.
Commissioner Clark Coleman,
Yes.
Commissioner Dobb,
Yes.
Commissioner Hattis,
Yes.
Commissioner Colleen,
Aye.
Commissioner Kinlock,
Yes.
Commissioner Knizik,
Yes.
Commissioner Morecki,
Yes.
Commissioner Baker McCormick,
Yes.
Commissioner Scott,
Yes.
Commissioner Varga,
Yes.
Vice Chair Pro Tem Baydoun,
Yes.
Vice Chair Palomero,
Yes.
Chair Bell.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Madam Clerk, next item.
We're moving to Report G from the Committee on Ways and Means. There is one item listed.
Commissioner Varga.
Move approval.
Support.
Been moved and supported to approve item G1. Is there any discussion? Commissioner Anderson.
Oh, I'm sorry, I left my hand up. I didn't have a question on this.
No problem. Is there any discussion on item G1? Hearing none, Madam Clerk, before you call the roll on this, I will note that Chair Bell has requested an excuse from the balance of today's meeting. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Anderson,
Yes.
Commissioner Basham,
Reluctantly, yes, because one is a retroactive sole source, but I did my research. I'll support it.
Commissioner Clark Coleman,
Yes.
Commissioner Dobb,
Yes.
Commissioner Hattis,
Yes.
Commissioner Colleen,
Aye.
Commissioner Kinlock,
Yes.
Commissioner Knizik,
Yes.
Commissioner Morecki,
Yes.
Commissioner Baker McCormick,
Yes.
Commissioner Scott,
Yes.
Commissioner Varga,
Yes.
Vice Chair Pro Tem Baydoun,
Yes.
Vice Chair Palomero.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Madam Clerk, next item.
We are moving to page 10 of the agenda, upcoming committee meetings.
Do any committee chairs have any comments on upcoming committee meetings?
Yes, through the chair,
Commissioner Hattis.
I like to postpone the Economic Development Committee.
The Committee on Economic Development scheduled for
September 7, yes. Scheduled for
10 o'clock.
September 7, 2021, 10 a.m. That would
Will
be
be.
postponed.
Yep. Will be postponed. So noted.
Mr.
Thank you.
Chair,
Yes, Commissioner Morecki.
thank you. I'd like my committee members on COPS to note that COPS will be on Tuesday, September 14th. So it's off the schedule, the normal schedule, just so you note that.
So noted.
Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Any other changes or adjustments to the upcoming committee meetings?
Mr.
Hearing
Chair,
none.
if I do have any, I will let members know in advance for Ways and Means.
Thank you, Commissioner Varga. Madam Clerk, next item.
We are on new business. There are 5 items listed on pages 10 and 11 of the agenda and 1 item on the addenda. Item number 1 is requesting approval of the reappointment of Thomas Adams to the Substance Use Disorder Policy Oversight Board.
Considered read. I
Move
believe
approval.
it's been moved to approve.
Support.
And there is support to approve items 1 through 5 and then the addenda item. Is there any discussion? Commissioner Basham.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Item number 1 is that when they started working? It's again, It's reappointment, but effective from April 1, 2021. And last I looked is we're in September now. So why is that, again, retroactive? Could somebody speak to that?
It's not an appointment, Mr. Chair, and I'm sure several others remember. This is the substance use disorder as a board appointment, and I believe that's when the term has occurred, and the way that it made it, the timing, it's just the timing issue of how it reached our agenda, but it's not an employment position.
Well, I understand that, and I read my agenda, and I understand that timing is a thing, but the timing is, then why even vote on it? If it becomes effective April 1st, then we should actually vote on it before April 1st.
Yes.
For the term of the reappointment is effective, as I'm reading it.
Yeah, that's correct. But you generally these board appointments, the term, the expiration is also a caveat in most of these board appointments, that until the successor is duly appointed and qualified. So so I guess I understand what you're saying, but I guess the process needs to be, I guess, brought to the board a little bit sooner.
That's the point I'm trying to make. There's no reason, we're not a cut and paste commission. So if it's important enough for us to come in and vote on it collectively, then it should be important enough to get us in front of us before you make a decision. Because again, when I first got on the commission, 20 to 30% of the contracts that we voted on were retroactive. It took me 1.5 years to get a procurement ordinance done. And the former administration was not going to go by it. And it got pretty interesting. And then all of a sudden they decided to work with us, and they went down to single digits. My thing is now, and I know I'm the skunk at the picnic, but they're starting to creep back up. They are starting to creep back up in all seriousness. So we have a responsibility collectively to make sure that if we can vote on these things and not vote on retroactive contracts, and if it's an emergency, like I found out, emergency lease, then we need as a commission to get the a procurement contract done for leases, also emergency leases. But again, we have a responsibility and not just cut and paste. So I take it very serious about. So just to prove a point, I guess I hate to be like this, but I'm going to be a no vote on one, just to let people know that our role, if 7 other people went with me, we would send a strong message that we need to vote on these things before they're retroactive or sole source, those sorts of things. I'll let
Commissioner
it go.
Bassam, I'm just going to say something. I at the last Detroit Wayne Integrated Health Board meeting, there was a sole source contract, and guess what? I just pulled out your script.
I'm proud of you, even though I don't say it as often as I.
Commissioner Scott.
Yes, Mr. Chair, thank you. On item 3, I'd like to be the maker of the motion, please.
So noted.
Mr. Chair, I would like to actually be the maker of the motion for item number 1 and 2. I know both of these individuals, and they're strong advocates for social justice, and not just here in Wayne County, but across the state. So I'd love to be the maker of the motion for those 2.
And I'd like to support 1 and 2.
Without objection, so ordered. Commissioner Kinlock will be the maker of the motion on items 1 and 2. Commissioner Scott, the maker of the motion on item 3, with Commissioner Kinlock supporting that. Commissioner Daub.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. And I apologize if I'm jumping ahead of where we are. I had a question on item number 5. Are we on
No,
that?
that's in order.
Okay, great. Thank you. So for item number 5, is there someone who can speak to this item, the cashiering system for the clerk's office? I just want a brief explanation of what it is and how long the current system has been at its end life, and why we needed an immediate consideration for this item.
Is there anyone from the clerk's office participating in the meeting? Hearing and seeing.
Pat, Tim Marshner from the clerk's office.
Oh, go right ahead, sir.
The thing with our old system, it is over 5 years old. And the issue we're having is that we're going to soon be going to Windows 10, and 10 will not operate. That's our cashiering system that we currently have. It will not operate on Windows 10. It also doesn't interact with our the Odyssey system with the court. So we really do need a new system for this. And the new system is for 5 years with a 2-year option on it.
Okay. How long did clerk's office know about this? And why does this need to be an immediate consideration?
This is Pat Ways from the clerk's office. A number of considerations. It's important to note that we've been trying to get this through the system since late 2019, early 2020. When the pandemic arose, everything was put on hold. So when we came back in full force and full operation, we discovered that the company TAN was no longer willing to support the system. Thus, we've had breakdowns and fixes that are really putting us in a dire situation because basically we're in life support. We sent this to the commission on several occasions. Felicia can attest to the fact that we've been trying to get this through the system. We had a change in the corporation counsel attorney. The one that initially worked on it, she retired. They assigned it to a new corporation counsel attorney. He then had to familiarize himself with the contract. So time is of the essence because the system, as Tim indicated, is it's already over 5 years old. The current system does not interact with our court system, and thus we are no longer receiving support from the company.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Haydus.
Thank you. This is an item number 4. The $5,593,057 is those money would be available for the people who've been denied by FEMA for whatever reason. For that, they could apply for those.
Yeah. So Wafa Denaro, Wayne County Economic Development. So yes, this would be to supplement the FEMA funding. Anybody who applies for this would have had to have applied to FEMA, and we will supplement anything additional that is not covered by FEMA. FEMA is very specific in what they'll cover for flooding. They'll cover, water heaters, furnaces. They'll cover the necessities, but they won't cover. They'll cover the removal of drywall. They will not cover the replacement. They won't cover any like refrigerators or anything that they don't deem necessary. So this grant would cover anything in additional to what FEMA covers. So if they are denied from FEMA, they will still be able to apply with us. And even if they receive some funding from FEMA, they will still be able to apply through us.
Thank you. And through the chair, and will your department notify all the municipality to post it on for their constituents?
Yes, we would like to open up the application period for 2 weeks. If it gets approved today, we'd like to open it on Tuesday following Labor Day, and then keep the application period open for 2 weeks and go from there.
Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Killeen.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. On the same topic, please, Mr. Narl, send the information to commissioners to all of our offices. The phone rings. People are like, I'm not getting anywhere with anything. Hey, what about this 10 million from the state? What's up with that? So as soon as you have something, to share with the commission the rules of the road here, please do that as well as the local communities.
Yeah,
'Cause
absolutely. If
it's going to be
if
a
this-
short time frame for people. We have to get it out right away.
Yeah, if this gets approved today, I'll send something out following this meeting. We
Thank
already
you very-
have the program built out, so we're ready to roll.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Commissioner Anderson.
Thank you, Mr. Vice Chair. I just wanted to ask Wafa also if she would make sure it's live on the county website and easily accessible from the splash page on the county site. The details of the requirements and what it is likely to cover.
Yep. Yeah, we'll make sure that it's linked on the main page as well.
All right, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Commissioner Anderson. Is there any further discussion from commissioners on the motion, which is to approve the items listed under new business and on the addenda? Any further discussion? Hearing none, a record roll call vote is in order. Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Anderson,
Yes.
Commissioner Basham,
Yes.
is that with the no on item number 1, Commissioner?
Yes, with a no on one. I'm sorry.
Duly noted. Commissioner Clark Coleman,
Yes.
Commissioner Daub,
Yes.
Commissioner Hattis,
Yes.
Commissioner Killeen,
Aye.
Commissioner Kinlock,
Yes.
Commissioner Knizik,
I'm a yes on items 1 through 5 and an abstain on addenda item number 6, please.
duly noted. Commissioner Marecki,
Yes.
Commissioner Baker McCormick,
Yes.
Commissioner Scott,
Yes.
Commissioner Varga,
Yes.
Vice Chair Pro Tem Bajun.
How are you?
Yes.
Okay, Vice Chair Palomero.
Yes.
Motion carries. I have Commissioner Knizik as an abstention on 6, Commissioner Kinlock, maker of the motion, items 1 and 2, Commissioner Scott, maker of the motion number 3, Commissioner Basham, a no on item 1.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Next item.
We are moving to page 12 of the agenda, testimonial resolutions and certificates of appreciation. There are 2 items listed.
Considered read.
One off you.
Commissioner Baker McCormick or Commissioner Basham, would either of you like to comment on your testimonial resolutions and certificates of appreciation? Commissioner Basham.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. It's not often that Little League can actually be recognized in such a fashion that the whole state of Michigan is proud of them. But the Taylor North Little League, and they're having their parade tonight, but they actually are the world champions. And Taylor's known for its Little League baseball, but to have kids that were so involved, it not only said something about the kids, it says something about the parents, it says something about the community, it says something about the coaches, it says something about the county of Wayne, it says something about the state of Michigan. This is about all of us coming together and supporting those young men that have actually worked extremely hard and actually come up with, the last time the Michigan had won the World Series was in 1959 in Hamtramck. And so I'm very, very proud to have Taylor recognized as being the best Little League in the world. So that's what the resolution's about. I'll be presenting them with the resolution, and thank all my commissioners for supporting the resolution. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. I believe the entire commission as co-sponsors is equally proud of what that Little League team did.
Yes.
They handled themselves in every respect the way you would want young people to handle themselves, both on and off the field. They certainly received a lot of attention all over the world, and we are extremely proud of them and happy for their success.
Thank you.
Is there any further discussion on testimonial items 1 or 2? Hearing none, a voice vote is in order. All those in favor of approving?
We need a motion and support, Commissioner.
I'm so sorry.
No move.
I move items 1 and 2.
Support.
Moved by Commissioner Basham, supported by Commissioner Colleen to approve and support items 1 and 2. A voice vote is in order. All those in favor of approval say aye.
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 Aye. All those opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Next item.
We're moving to memoriams. There are 2 names listed.
Considered read. Is there anyone that would like to comment on the memory of either Steve Hood or J.D. Killebrew Jr.? Commissioner Colleen.
Mr. Chair, I didn't raise my hand for comment. I had one other name to.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go
so
right
if you
ahead.
want, oh, you want to do now? Mr. Chair, I'd like to add the name Anthony Johnson to the memoriams. This is heartbreaking, Mr. Chair. He was the teenage son of Tammy Black, who is, as a citizen in Jefferson Chalmers community, has just been an absolute force for how many things are happening in that community that the citizens themselves are doing. And it's just been a very difficult year. There was also COVID in their family this year, and now they lose their teenage son. So it's heartbreaking, but I want to add the name Anthony Johnson to the memoriams. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Commissioner. It will be added. Commissioner Baydoun.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I would like to add a name to the memoriam. A Dearborn resident, Haji Badr Baydoun Saab, passed away on Monday. She is the aunt of our dear friend and colleague, Commissioner Haddis. She is survived by many loved family members. We extend our condolences to the Baydoun Saab and to the Haddis family. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Baydoun. Commissioner Baker McCormick.
Thank you. I just want to send my condolences out to the Hood family and the loss of Steve Hood. He was a great friend and supporter, and most people knew him as a political strategist. So again, I just wanted to send my condolences to the family.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Marecki.
Thank you, thank you, Mr. Chair. I'd like to add the name of Judith Hale, H-A-L-E, from Livonia. Thank you.
So noted. Commissioner Irma Clark Coleman.
Thank you, Sir Vice Chair. I'd like to add the name of Jonathan Clark. He is my nephew, first of all, and he's also very active with the Brightmoor Community Association. As a matter of fact, he served as their president, and the funeral is he's being funeralized today as we speak. So I'd like to add his name, Jonathan Clark.
So noted. Are there any other names that would like to be added to the list of in memoriam? Hearing none, a moment of silence is in order. Thank you. God rest their souls. Madam Clerk, next item.
Public comments.
Madam Clerk, before we go to public comment, I would just like to reiterate what I said at the outset of the meeting, and also like to intone something that has transpired over the course of the meeting. Since we've been meeting on Zoom, there are frequently chat comments that are made during the course of the meeting. And over the course of the past hour and 10 minutes, a number of those comments have been made, and they are a part of the permanent record of this meeting. So if you made those comments by chat, you do not need to necessarily make them verbally as well. Having said that, public comment will be opened up to everyone and limited to 1 minute. The clerk will keep the time. And as was stated at the outset, and if you join the meeting late, the Wayne County Commission did not enact the mandatory mask order in schools, the Wayne County Commission does not have any authority to overturn that order. That is a state law that vests that authority with the director of the Department of Public Health. So you can comment on whatever you would like to for up to a minute, but just understand if that is your main issue today, it is not the Wayne County Commission's authority to overturn that order. So having said that, Madam Clerk, I'd like to open it up for public comment, and you can feel free to recognize and time those who request to speak.
This way, please.
Matthew Reese.
Hello, thank you. I don't know if the rule was supposed to be 2 minutes or 1 minute. I know it was just stated that it was 1 minute. I just want to get clarity on that.
1 minute.
1 minute per the vice chair.
Okay. Okay. Well, I'll try and make this comment quick because I wrote it for 2 minutes. So good morning, Honorable Board of Commissioners. My name is Matthew Reese. I'm a resident of Redford Township in the 8th District. I'd like to share my experience with some impending segregation and medical discrimination at work. So not related to the school board thing, but similar. Last November, my wife and I contracted COVID-19 and recovered quickly by the grace of God. And with this newly gained natural immunity, I chose to forego the emergency use authorized vaccines. My company has recently begun bringing employees back into the office after 1.5 years of working remotely. Employees are being asked to disclose their vaccination status, and this information decides if employees will be required to provide weekly test results, wear masks, sit out of company events. We've been told that our disclosures will be audited by requesting proof of vaccination, and false statements will result in termination. So we're not allowed to withhold this disclosure, nor are we allowed to continue working remotely. And this has created an alarming situation where the unvaccinated are to be identified and burdened and excluded, while the vaccinated are rewarded. I wish I could say that my company is unique, but it's not. For the first time in history, we're treating Americans that were sick or could be sick as though they are. All right, thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Valerie.
Thank you for taking my comment, Mr. Chair. You addressed that that you have no authority over the mask mandates and orders put in by the Wayne County Health Department, but you are responsible for the funding to that department. And as residents and citizens who have continued to express our complaint and concern about the funding of this health department and about the orders that have been enacted, we would say that as elected commissioners, we are expecting you to start reviewing the funding that you're giving to this health department that is enacting these orders. Thank you.
KONTOSD2001@yahoo.com.
Hi, my name's Daniela Cantos. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, you provide the health department with a budget and supposed to help with civil resolution. You're providing to provide our budgets for our schools and health departments. You're giving a budget to mandate masks of our children, and that makes you complicit. Give money to schools to solve the problem, to put in I-wave airs and get these masks out of our children now and quit passing the buck. Our children are being mandated to wear a mask. It doesn't work. It's like a bleeding wound, gushing blood and the health department puts a small Band-Aid on it, thinking it will solve it, while blood is gushing around all sides of the Band-Aid. That's what a mask does to all sides, open, unsealed masks on the face. COVID gets in, it decreases 20% of oxygen in our children. Commissioners are in charge of civil resolutions. Parents don't want masks on our children. Industrial hygienists say all schools should have I-wave air that kills all viruses, bacteria, and mold in their building. Stephen Petty, he is an industrial hygienist. Go look him up.
That's time. Heather.
Okay, so industrial hygienist.
Heather Fitzmayer.
Hi, thank you so much for having me. As I understand, the Wayne County Health Department issued this mask mandate, presumably made by Melita Jordan, the director. Your Wayne County Commission voted to hire her on April 13th. Now, she is appointed by the executive and ratified by a majority of the commissioners. I'm looking at your county charter, point 3, direct quote, appointees in county government serve at the pleasure of the appointing authority, end quote. So yes, you guys are directly responsible for this and play a part of this decision. As a mother of 3 children, I strongly encourage you to remove this mandate, follow the science, and allow schools and families to choose what's best for our COVID protocol, so we can look at the holistic health of our children and the next generation, their mental, their social, and their developmental health. So thank you so much. Please look out for the best interests of our families, and our schools. Thank you very much for all you do, and please strongly reconsider your appointment if you need to, and this mandate generally, the funding, anything that's needed to be done. Thank you so much.
Mark Ashley.
She came with like she was coherent.
Mark Ashley. President Buffington.
Hello, I'm going to address everyone that is here in this fight in regards to this mandate. I just want to speak on behalf of being a government employee and knowing the protocol and the correct entities to contact. Your fight on this whole issue starts with the President of the United States, not a small government entity. They follow the protocols and the channels that are handed down and mandated. If your President of the United States stands up and takes a stand on whether or not the overall issue is something to be mandated, they would not have this fight. So thank you all for your comments, but please follow the structure. Start at the top and work your way down.
That's not the way this works.
It says WH.
Thank you. My name's Andrew Hess. So here's my situation. First of all, to respond exactly to what that president just stated, that's the exact opposite way of democracy works in America. The way that democracy works in America is we start from the bottom and we work our way to the top. The bottom line is that we report directly to our county commissioners. The county commissioners go to the executive goes to the state of Michigan goes to the federal government. There's a book called The Power of the Lesser Magistrate. I would advise everybody on this commission should read that. The Power of the Lesser Magistrate says that at some point, somebody has to grow a backbone and be willing to stand up to tyrannical government. The biggest problem that we have going on right now with this entire mandate is that we have people who are elected officials, you yourselves sitting in this meeting, that are afraid to stand up to somebody who's pushing down a tyrannical government on top of us. And you're all cowtailing and hiding behind the idea that, oh, well, this is somebody that's appointed. We don't have any control over it. You are the commission that appointed it. You are the commission that were elected by us, the citizens of the United States of America. And it's time that some of you grow a frickin' backbone and stand up for us. Have a good day.
Phone number 655-0120. Your name? Phone number 655-0120. Your name? So I don't see any other hand raised.
You do?
Hello?
Hello?
Yes.
Okay, my name is
Okay,
Andrea
yes.
Calhoun. Am I the one speaking?
Andrew Calhoun, you can start.
Okay, you say you're doing Zoom meetings to stop the spread of COVID. That's very nice of you. But recently there was a video that went viral that had many pictures of Mr. Sam Bodune, and he had 1,000 people at his son's wedding and nobody was masked. Why is it you guys choose, you cannot wear masks, but yeah, our children are being forced to wear masks during school? There's too much hypocrisy going on here. It's not with just you. We have the governor, we have many leaders that are not following their own mandates. So I would hope and think that you could reconsider and please help us parents out to have a choice. We are only asking for a choice. And that's not too much to ask for. And that's all I have to say.
Lots of mass.
Galaxy S20 5G. Renee?
Good morning. My name's Stephen Graham. I'm calling on behalf of my wife and my 2 children that are in the Wayne County school system. I think that you guys seem very disinterested in this whole topic to put your disclaimers out and that you are the legislative body that represents us. I think you are willingly and knowingly putting at risk and in danger, and I resent that about you. Grow a backbone, fight this mandate, because you have checks and balances on other branches of government, this being the legislature, the other being the executive. Use your powers the way they were appointed to you. Thank you.
Scott Wright?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
First, I'd like to thank all of you for your service to our county. So my opinions are that as our elected representatives for Wayne County, I think the board, the commission, it's incumbent upon you to ask the director what the science and data was that she used to make her decision or the CDC's decision for substantial transmission of COVID-19 for their latest order. I just looked it up, and the rolling 7-day average per the CDC is 8 cases per 100,000 in Wayne County right now. And in fact, we haven't been over 50 per 100,000 since July 2nd. We need to know where and what that criteria was that they used. I also think we should ask the question, give us the information on how masks work. I have read many studies that show they don't. I have also read many studies that show they cause more harm than good. Please show us that information. Thank you.
Shannon Seiko?
Yes. Am I on?
Yes.
Thank you. Yes, my name's Shannon Seiko, and I live in Wyandotte, and I am concerned that you're not letting us speak on our behalf, because it says right on your website that we can come to you first when we have issues not resolved in our community. And this is on the mask mandate and taking away our parental rights. We've been talking to superintendents all summer long, and they gave us the rights to choose with masks. And then the Wayne County Department came in and took that away from us. And that is a violation of our First and 14th Amendment rights. And the Northern Michigan commissioners have been working with their community with this. So I need to know if you guys can be on our side, please. Thank you.
If I missed you, you can state your name and begin speaking.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Conrad. Right now in the United States, people should not be walking around with masks. There's no reason to be walking around with masks. When you're in the middle of an outbreak, wearing a mask might make people feel a little better. It might even block a droplet, but it's not providing the perfect protection that people think it is. There are unintended consequences. Do you know who said this? Dr. Fauci on a CBS 60 Minutes interview in March of 2020. This was before COVID-19 became a political issue. You know, I agree with Dr. Fauci's words. This is a feel-good measure. Give students choice. I have no issue if the county wants to encourage masks, but to mandate it is unacceptable. As Commissioner Raymond Besham said, don't pass, cut, and paste policies. Take a stand.
Oh, is this on?
If I missed you, you can state your name and begin speaking.
Hello, this is Ginger. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I couldn't agree more with the comment that was made about starting from the bottom up with the people that are directly representing us. I believe that to be true. However, with that said, I keep hearing you say you have no authority to override this mandate. I don't know that we're necessarily asking you to override it. We do know that you do have strong influence to the person who is responsible for the mandate. And as our representatives, you should be taking into account how we feel and representing us and putting the pressure on if that needs to be. You should be supporting us and standing up with us instead of saying, well, we can't do this. Our hands are tied. You need to go to this person. That's what we're constantly hearing. So it's just one person leading us to the next, to the next, to the next. How about if you really truly feel strongly about your constituents and what they believe, how about you stand up with us and fight for us and with us? That's all I have to say.
Amanda Wilson?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, well, first of all, I already asked for a formal apology from Commissioner, was it Basham, for his comments. So I will be looking forward to hearing that still. Second of all, I am a parent in the Woodhaven Brownstown School District, and I am obviously fighting against the mandates like many others. And I want to make sure that you understand the repercussions that the school is even putting on these parents, because I have been in constant contact with my superintendent for days, asking every question possible. And the latest one I got, because I was asking questions to him on what the procedure would be if my child did go to school without a mask. And I'm being told, and I quote from Superintendent Mark Greathead, if a student comes to school and refuses to wear a mask and does not have an exemption that is allowed under the health order, which religious exemptions apparently in people.
If I missed you, please state your name and begin speaking.
Hi, my name's Katina Movitz. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I'm a parent in Northville, and we just moved here about a year ago, and we picked Northville because of good reputation for public schools. Fortunately, I'm actually looking into homeschooling. So it's been a complete disappointment in our district and in the county because of these mandates. I also do want to state for the record that I am a registered nurse and my husband is a physician. It is very clear now that all these mandates are not science, it's all political. And with that being said, it was brought to my attention, if you look at the Michigan government website, that it is against the law to restrain our children, anything that affects their breathing. Now that is considered a restraint. It's right on the website. It's clear and dry. I can send it to you with the circle around it. That this is actually illegal. What is happening? And we have to fight it because this is wrong. And I refuse to put a mask on my young children. It's completely wrong. That's it. Thank you.
If I missed you, please state your name and begin speaking.
Hello, my name is Maggie. I'm a 6-year-old mother of a Livonia Catholic school student.
Oh my.
And I am
What is going on here?
Hello?
Go right ahead, ma'am.
Okay, sorry. I'm completely against these mandates. I feel like they're making parents choose between their so-called health and their education when they deserve both. They don't deserve to have their breathing inhibited to be able to go to school. It should be the parent's choice, not the government's choice. Please help our side fight for our rights. Thank you.
I missed you. Please state your name and begin speaking.
Stephanie Elshamiri. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I am a parent of 3 children. I am very concerned about the mask mandate, that I agree with others that say that you do have an influence. My twins will be repeating kindergarten the second year in a row because of the distractions that the masks have caused them, because I have one that has a very hard time focusing and he is currently being looked at for ADHD, and not to mention the bacteria that gets trapped when you wear masks, because you are meant to exhale anything that is not meant to be in your body. One of the first things that I learned in nursing school was the difference between masks. Surgical masks are meant to keep people who are sick not spreading germs. The only thing that protects anybody from getting COVID would be wearing an N95. And as of right now, they say to just wear any kind of mask, which doesn't work. And I work for Henry Ford, and currently system-wide, there are only 90 COVID patients that are above the age of 60. And nobody has had any deaths. They are discharged home to recover. And most of these patients have been vaccinated. So to say that kids are a threat or to force them to wear masks is not based on science whatsoever from what we're seeing in the hospital, based on what's reality.
Are there any additional public comments?
Madam Clerk, is there any additional public comments who have not already commented?
Yes, Mark Ashley Price from Homeland Park.
Go right ahead, sir.
Hello, my name is Mark Ashley Price from Homeland Park, Michigan. I'm an elected school board member, and I had 2 points. My first point was just that I'm supportive of the county commission holding their meetings through Zoom, and also I personally am supportive of the mask, but I don't think it should be mandated, especially if especially if individuals been vaccinated. And that's my 2 cents. Thank you.
Is there anyone else who has not commented that wishes to comment at this time? Madam Clerk, I believe you've received several emails on this issue.
I have.
Madam Clerk,
So
could you please start to share those emails with us, up to 1 minute per email maximum, please.
Octavia, please keep the time. Thank you. This is from Yolanda Shepherd. Thumbs up and kudos for a job well done on the budget. However, just when will all employees be given consideration for their hard work and commitment to the County of Wayne? I have seen a 2% wage increase in the past 10 years, 3 to 5% increase in healthcare costs to employees during this time frame. I have seen 2 stints of furloughs to employees. I have seen layoffs for employees. I have seen increase in wages to healthcare individuals, deservingly so, in the wake of the pandemic. I have seen wage increases to clerks. I have seen wage increases for juvenile detention specialists. These are not the only workers that help make Wayne County a world-class county. It just pains my heart to see most employees constantly overlooked in the wake of the continual rising cost of living. There's no wonder we have a shortage of workers. There's no wonder we have seen a mass exodus of employees in the past several months. When are the employees going to receive wages commensurate with industry standards as opposed to poorly?
Thank you. Next email, please.
This is from Amy Richards. Hello, I am writing to you about the recent Wayne County Health Department mask mandate for all K-12 students and faculty. I'm very concerned parent of 3 children who have all experienced terrible side effects from the mask: severe headaches, dizziness, rashes, bloody noses, etc. With no proven efficacy of masks stopping the transmission of the virus, why are we putting our kids through this? They are at virtually no risk from this virus, and we need to let them build natural immunity. Here's one of many articles. Also, this mandate takes the choice away from every teacher and parent. Taking away the choice from parents on what's right for our child family is not the county or state's decision. We live in the USA, and freedom and liberty are 2 of our God-given rights. You have the opportunity to do the right thing. I hope and pray you do. Let's stand together for final choice. Sincerely, Amy. This one is from Raina Vendramini. Any and all mandates related to COVID-19 are a violation of our constitutional rights in terms of our children, a violation of our parental rights. The mandates must end immediately. Violation of our rights will no longer be tolerated. The next one is from Rachel. Wayne County Commissioners, I must respectfully disagree. Your hands are not tied in regards to unmasking our children. In fact, you hold great influence in the entire budget over Wayne County Health Department. You can withhold the budget until Wayne County gives back our schools, the superintendents, and our local boards control over mask mandates. In regards to private schools, you can hold Carol Osterberry accountable to remove the mandate from local private schools who already had working policies in place. This health order is not based on science, rather politics. That's from Rachel. This is from Katie Waldo. This states that anything that restricts breathing and any intentional use of substances, activities, or items that cause physical pain or extreme discomfort is prohibited. As a parent of a child in school, I can assure you that these masks both restrict breathing and cause not only discomfort, but pain. My child complains of headaches and pain behind the ears after being masked for 7 hours. This is abuse and completely unnecessary. This is from Lisa Aponovis. Please consider giving parents and students the choice to wear a mask or not. I believe all students should have that right. My child cannot medically tolerate one and has medical documentation for all of her health issues that have been provided to her school way before COVID, and they are still saying one size fits all learning plan. If you cannot wear a mask, you must go virtual. My daughter also has an IEP with her school for all of her learning disabilities, and online independent learning does not work for her, and they know that. I thought it was every child's right to have a free, appropriate public education. Parents with students with medical conditions and learning disabilities have a hard enough time dealing with those issues every day, and adding another stress to the students and parents of fighting with the schools for their free, appropriate public education is crossing the line and breaking the law. This is from Elizabeth Isler. We appreciate your support. This is from Todd Scott. It's opening. Dear Commissioners, the Detroit Greenways Coalition strongly supports Wayne County's project to build a new trail connecting Hinds Drive with Parkland Park and Dearborn Heights. This is on your agenda today. For over 12 years, we've been advocating for a Rouge River Greenway between Hinds Drive and 8 Mile Road. It's part of the Detroit Greenway vision from 2009 and is now part of the city of Detroit's vision. Prior to that, the Michigan Mountain Biking Association advocated for this connector as a safe way to connect Hinds to their newly built mountain bike trail at Rouge Park. We are excited to see this project moving forward. It will provide an important safe connection between Hinds Drive and Parkland Park, directly south of Rouge Park. Trails have always been an invaluable public amenity, but they've become even more so during the pandemic. Trail use on Detroit's DeQuinder Cup rose 55% during the pandemic as residents found them to be a safe and beautiful place. And the next one is from Edward Rockwood. Good morning. My name is Megan Rockwood, and I am a parent of an 8-year-old boy. I am emailing you to present a point of view that perhaps isn't being considered or may not have enough voices expressing it. I am a parent of choice, as we have named ourselves at my son's school. I am not pro or anti-mask. I believe and am supported by the law of this state and county that the decision to mask or not, to vaccinate or not, is the choice of the parent or legal guardian. What if the situation was reversed? Suppose the health department told families of children with or families with relatives that have underlying conditions that were of higher risk to extreme cases of COVID-19 that they must send their children to school because it is the law, and that there is now an order in place by the county that says they are not allowed to wear a mask or social distance. How would that affect the community? What if Terrified parents had no choice but to send their children to school without masks, and terrified children were forced to sit directly next to children not wearing masks. That would be wrong. That would also be depriving the parents of their rights to make medical decisions for their children. This is from Emilia Lee. To whom it may concern, as parents, we demand the Wayne County Health Department to rescind your August 27th mask mandate and give back our children the normalcy they deserve and give the choice back to parents. Government has no right whatsoever to dictate what our children do, especially when it negatively affects their health. One, the face coverings are by definition under 381.137B illegal in Michigan. Any restraint that negatively impacts breathing, and since the health department may only make orders which are otherwise not prohibited by law, the health department lacks the statutory authority to make this order. I recognize that the health department has made such an order according to the Michigan law. Their order is an illegal order. It cannot be enforced. The existence of the illegal order empowers absolutely no one to break the law as set forth in MCL 380.137B. Doing so remains a criminal act and will warrant the police being called and charges filed. 2, there is not only no specific evidence to prove any benefits of wearing a mask.
Madam Clerk,
Yes.
as a matter of update, could you tell us approximately how many email communications are left to be read in the record?
Oh, wow. Probably 20 or so.
Okay, just wanted to apprise everybody of where we're at in the process. Go right ahead, please continue.
This is Mark Joseph Sosnowski. Hello there, Wayne County Commissioners. Please take action to prohibit requirements for so-called vaccine passports. It will be an undue burden on unvaccinated people to require an inoculation in order to participate in daily living activities. I am a resident of Dearborn Heights, Michigan, and I will not be taking the vaccines. There are several reasons why. First, the FDA lists the vaccines as experimental drugs with unknown long-term side effects, and the recent news of the approval of the new formula is misinformation because it is not even available, and it is misleading because of the possibility is great that people at large could now have a misunderstanding that all the vaccines are now approved. What is actually known, according to the registry of the Vaccine Adverse Event Reporting System, is that 9,000 people have died following their inoculation. It is unconscionable that a government body would subject us to such a risk. Further, having survived the COVID illness, I am now sufficiently protected by natural antibodies to enforce upon me the injection of a questionable This is Alyssa S. Good morning, my name is Alyssa. I am writing in as a citizen of Wayne County, and my children attend private school in Wayne County. The first issue I would like to address is that this recent mandate has included private schools. I would like to find out how Wayne County Health Department has jurisdiction to dictate what goes on in our private schools. There's absolutely no reason that our small private school community needs to be controlled by Wayne County Health Department or looped in the same infectious category as Wayne County on the CDC website. The CDC website also includes the city of Detroit, which makes it almost impossible for us to ever reach a moderate category. We could discuss the science and the lack of efficacy regarding masks until we're blue in the face, but what the issue is here is Wayne County is stepping on our parental rights. Our children come to us when they are hurt, when they are sick, and for all their basic needs. We, as their parents, have their best interest at heart. Please let us as parents determine what safety measures we would like to take in keeping our kids healthy. The same data is available to each and every one of us, and I think it's unfair This is, good morning, board members. My name is Frank Piccolo Jr. I am a city of Westland resident living in District 23 of Wayne County. I stand in opposition to the mask mandate. This mandate does not concern a significant growing threat to our children, nor really most people under age 40. While the Delta variant of the COVID-19 is more easily transmissible due perhaps mostly to the higher viral loads the infected carry in their nasal cavity, there is no information available to indicate that the Delta variant is more deadly. COVID deaths are down over 90% nationally. This due to the vaccines and advancements in treatment and growing better understanding of way COVID operates. Well over 165 million people aged 12 and up have been vaccinated. Though there was a stall in the rising numbers of people getting vaccinated, that has changed recently now that the FDA has approved certain vaccines for use. The number of individuals vaccinated and those who have survived their infection certainly have significantly narrowed the gap of herd immunity. For these reasons, the mandate does not meet FJ Bobo. This is from Nia Navarrete. To whom it may concern, I am sending this note to formally complain about the recent mask mandate recently implemented by the Wayne County Health Department K-12 schools. As a parent, I am well aware of the risks associated with in-person learning and COVID-19. However, I am also able to review the science and data available to take whatever preventative steps I believe to be best for my family and make a decision best for my family. Effectively, this mandate has taken away my choice as a parent to decide if wearing a mask is in fact the best for my family. In doing so, the Wayne County Health Department is infringing on my parental rights to protect my child from harm. Despite any science and data available, we cannot understand the long-term effects of our children wearing masks for extended periods of time, be it mentally, physically, or emotionally. Based on the information that is available, I believe mask wearing for extended periods of time by children is harmful. It is my job to keep my child safe from harm, not yours. I request you rescind this order immediately so parents will have the right to choose what is right for their families. I respectfully remind you that you are elected officials and whether appointed or directly voted in, your jobs This is Beth Sebastian. I am writing to voice my disgust at the recent ruling of the Wayne County Health Department to mask all students ages 4 and up. That the health department is making such a broad and cumbersome ruling 18 months into a pandemic is beyond reprehensible and such a lightly veiled power move that is laughable. As our representatives, the commission must do whatever is possible to rein in the overreach we are witnessing. As students at a private school, my children had a nearly mask-free year last year with no negative consequences. Are we honestly to believe masks need to be enforced for these ages after more than a year of learning about the virus, the low risk it poses to children, and a statistically inconsequential difference that makes for students to make? You are helping to make decisions that will affect our children for years. There's no excuse to make them sacrifice further. I assure you this issue will be researched thoroughly in all of my future voting. Elizabeth Sebastian. Catherine Howard Cone. Thank you for keeping our children safe. My child told me she cannot breathe, and we discussed the suffering and injustice in the world. We are here to support you and help make the county and schools safe. Her ability to safely breathe and learn at school is what an 8-year-old dreams of. My daughter believes in science, not white European the science. Please use COVID deaths, not cases, for decisions. Also define COVID as COVID, not the influenza. Of course, a large increase is large because the prior cases and deaths are so low. Facts matter. Cases today compared to one case yesterday, 100% increase. This is not a threat to my daughter. Agree a low bed count is concerning. CDC using which appropriate hospitals to measure. Wayne County using what hospital? Those hospitals that focus on cost and profits, not patient care, not my daughter's care. No one cares. She cannot breathe, gets headaches and bloody noses. Please use bed counts from all hospitals. Dishonest data to mislead parents and children is a threat. Please use what matters to us. Debbie Louisignano. I take issue with the vaccine passports. I was advised by my doctor not to get the vaccine since I had COVID. He said I had more immunity without it. Why is there no discussion about this? The Nuremberg Code accepted worldwide since World War II requires there to be voluntary informed consent. The vaccine passports would not be voluntary informed consent. Do not take away my right to make decisions for my own body. Hello, My name is Kate Riley of Livonia, Wayne County. I would like to pose a question or two. If I get a MMR shot and you do not get one, am I at risk of getting the illnesses involved with the MMR shot because you are not vaccinated for it? Likewise, if I get the COVID shot and you do not get one, will the fact that you have not received a shot be in any way detrimental to me? Never before 2020 has anyone ever been concerned with whether or not I or anyone else for that matter has received a shot of any kind to make their chances of contracting the illness better. Has it ever caused you not to send your children to school if someone has not received the shot for chicken pox? Have you ever been afraid to go to the grocery store because the person in line behind you didn't have the flu shot? No, we haven't, because we fundamentally know through research and years of experience that another person's vaccination status is irrelevant if I have received the vaccine. Therefore, because I have the vaccine, I can feel safe. This is from, let's read that one. Molly. Dear Commissioners, as chair of the ad hoc committee on creating core values and missions and vision statements, I am inviting all of you to participate in our process by submitting your recommendations and ideas. Your input on what our core values should be and what should be included in our mission and vision statements will help ensure our final recommendations are truly reflective of this amazing of talented and thoughtful women. We are next going to, this is from Julie Brinkmeyer. Commissioners, I am a single mom of 3, a beautiful 18-year-old daughter, a brilliant 15-year-old boy-girl twins. I have resided in Wayne County for over 20 years. I have supported myself and my children on my own through God's grace for 13 years. I have taught my children to respect their neighbors and elders, serve their community, and honor God above all else. This has not been easy, but through love and sacrifice, all 3 have been consistent honor roll achievers with promising futures before them. I look forward to the day that they marry, have children of their own, and I can enjoy my grandchildren and the legacy I leave behind. Unfortunately, my job, our health, their fertility, and our ability to continue serving our neighbors and community is in jeopardy because of these COVID-19 vaccine mandates. No one knows the long-term effects. Why would I risk my future support of them and my grandchildren by subjecting myself to those injections? Why would anyone want to lose their own children's and grandchildren's future to the same? We are otherwise healthy, strong individuals. We have This is, hello, my name is Jamie Wirtz. I am a mother of 5 and extremely concerned about the narrative being pushed that these COVID-19 vaccines are safe and that everyone should get them so that we can move on with our lives. I feel this narrative is not taking into account the real risks an individual is being asked to take on when agreeing to take the COVID-19 vaccine. For example, according to the CDC fact sheet for recipients and caregivers about the Pfizer BioNTech COVID-19 vaccine, it states as follows: side effects that have been reported include severe allergic reactions, non-severe allergic reactions such as rash, itching, hives, or swelling of the face, inflammation of the heart, inflammation of the lining of the heart, injection site pain, tiredness, headache, muscle pain, chills, joint fever, injection site swelling, injection site redness, nausea, feeling unwell, swollen lymph nodes, diarrhea, vomiting, arm pain. These may not all be all the side effects of the vaccine. Dear Wayne County Board of Commissioners, I am Karen Wheeler and I live in Wayne County. Are you aware that as of August 27, 2021, 13,627 people have died from the COVID-19 vaccine since December 2020. All other vaccines from the past 20 years have only 8,879 deaths. In 9 months, this unsafe treatment has killed 1.5 times as people as all vaccines over 20 years combined. Did you know that in 1976, swine flu vaccine campaign campaign. The swine flu vaccine was deemed dangerous and unsafe and removed from the market. Even thought the vaccine had only 53 deaths. Why does COVID-19 vaccine get a pass after killing 8,879 Americans, and the swine flu is canceled after 53 deaths? What vaccine sounds safer to you? Why is the COVID-19 vaccine being constantly called safe when it has the highest death rate of any vaccine ever? Karen Wheeler. My name is Britta Andres, and I'm the mama bear that will protect my cubs. As a constituent of Wayne County Municipality 11, it is my duty to voice my concerns about how intensely these COVID-19 vaccines are being pushed on people right now. When the FDA Pfizer briefing paper released on December 10th, 2020 showed us that 43% more suspected cases of COVID-19 in the vaccinated group than in the placebo group within 7 days of vaccination. This means that people who are vaccinated for COVID-19 are more likely to get COVID-19 than the unvaccinated. Natural immunity to the virus is the best prevention from getting the virus. It's wrong to mandate vaccines. The science is real and is the best prevention against COVID-19. I will send this link to each of you. I am Marissa Brockhagen and live in Wayne County. Are you aware that August 27, 21, 13,000 people have died from COVID-19? All other vaccines in the past 20 years have only 8,000. Did you know that in 1976, the swine flu campaign was deemed dangerous and unsafe and removed from the market? Why is COVID-19 vaccine constantly called safe when it has the highest death rate of any vaccine ever? Marissa Brockman. My name is Shirley Martin and I live in Livonia. While watching our August 19th Board of Commissioners meeting, we saw a young woman make a public comment about COVID-19 vaccine choice and vaccine passports. Discrimination against unvaccinated Wayne County residents was her focus, and she asked the commissioners to protect those residents with a ban on vaccine passports. My husband and I were shocked when we heard a commissioner's comment on the subject. The comment was, just checking my list. Shirley Martin. This is from Jen N. Hello, my question is, why are children forced to wear masks if 1, children have 0% risk of death, 2, masks do not stop viral transmission and transfer based on microbiology? To prove this, hold mask up to the light, view the thousands of tiny pores. You cannot see the bacteria with your eyes, smaller than the pores and will fit through. A virus is 100% times smaller than a bacteria. Masks do lower oxygen intake and heighten carbon dioxide intake. These 2 elements are not safe for the brain, especially for developing brains of children. That's from Jen N. Samantha Sawicki. My name is Samantha Sawicki. I am a voting resident here in Wayne County. I write to you today with my great concerns about the recent vaccine mandates. Forcing vaccines or any medical procedure is a violation of our rights, dangerous and unconstitutional. As our elected officials, I expect you to respectfully hear my voice in this matter, as well as the other voices who may disagree with the current nature. COVID-19 vaccines have gone through all proper testing and are safe. With any medication or vaccine, there are side effects. To demand people should receive this vaccine is not only unsafe, but medically incorrect. Some have reactions to vaccines that are life-threatening.
I don't. Last I knew.
Vaccines and medical services are best to be at the choice of each citizen. It's important that there's transparency in offering a vaccine, which could potentially bring harm to a person, especially if blindly given without their provider's informed consent or without the informed consent. This one is from Marie McCormick. On behalf of the Friends of the Rouge, a regional 501c3 environmental nonprofit of 35 years, I am writing in support of the work plan by Charter County of Wayne and the Michigan Department of Transportation for improvements to Edward N. Hinds Drive, south of Ann Arbor Trail, and north of Hinds Drive in the city of Dearborn Heights that will be voted on September 2nd. Friends of Rouge sees the connected system of greenways across Metro Detroit as an integral, creating equitable access to non-motorized transportation options and to providing meaningful green space for all. I urge each of you to vote yes on this important regional project. Marie McCormick. Herman Jenkins. Hello, Commissioners. I am writing to you today to support Wayne County's park efforts to complete the Parkland connection in Dearborn Heights. Friends of Rouge is firmly invested in advancing blue ways and greenways that build communities through natural connectivity of the Rouge River. The Parkland Connector is an important part of the regional network of planned and existing trails that will enhance recreation, increase mobility, and connect communities. The Parkland Connector in Dearborn Heights specifically is part of the Rouge Gateway Greenway that will foster trail connections and other partnering communities. I ask that all members of this honorable commission vote in favor of the Parkland Connector. Herman Jenkins. Wayne County Board of Commissioners. I am Marissa Broke-Hagan and I live in Wayne County. Nope, read that one. Okay, that might be it. Oh, Lord. That's it.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. That is probably a record for the most emails read into the record during public comment. Is there anybody else that has participated in this meeting today that would like to comment at this time? If there is anybody who either submitted an email that didn't hear their email read, that has not participated yet, please speak up at this time. Madam Clerk, will you please monitor and keep a record of those who do so within the next period here? Is there anyone else who cares to comment at this time?
Are they unmuted, Octavia?
Yes, everyone has been asked to unmute themselves.
How do I just get a one-time purchase?
Hi, this is Ella Cantos. I would like to understand if you understand what us parents want and what you guys are going to plan on doing about it.
Look right there.
Where's the tropical one?
I gotta get my gun.
What? What is this person saying?
Are there any additional public comments?
Yes.
He just said he's gonna get his gun, really, and you're just ignoring it?
That's a threat. Did he really just say that?
Yes, he did.
He sure did. We all heard it.
And it's on recording.
Who said that?
That was
Raymond
Basham.
Basham.
How do I get this back? Raymond Basham said it.
Yep.
Raymond Basham, you need to stop being disrespectful and unprofessional. This is your job, is to listen to us people. What do you guys plan on doing with these people who want no masks on their children? Commissioners, I'm asking a question.
Ma'am, I don't know who you are, but public comment is just that. It is not public dialogue. You have the opportunity to speak. Everyone has had an opportunity to speak for probably close to an hour to give their comments to the commission. And even those chat comments that were made are a part of this recorded record.
Including what just Mr. Basham just said about getting a gun?
I don't know who said that.
If I can, Mr. Chair, if I can,
Yes, Mr. Commissioner Basham.
As I'm sitting here, as I have been forever, and listen to everything that everybody said, good, bad, or indifferent, there was a big groundhog that just walked by my driveway. I hope he didn't attack my little dog, which I just let out to go to the bathroom. But anyway, I had made a comment about the groundhog, and that's as far as I'll go about that. So nothing to do with anything that's been said or anything.
Okay. So that was your response to after my question about what you commissioners are going to do about us parents who have voiced our opinions and want us, our kids, to be unmasked. You say, I'm going to get a gun. So you weren't listening. You weren't listening.
Mr. Chairman, I don't do a back and forth, and I was listening to everybody. I'm a veteran. My wife's a nurse. My staffer's mother's a nurse. I care about both sides. I care about stopping this COVID. I care about us getting back to what we call normal. I feel the passion from the other side of the aisle, but also what I hear also, we don't have a direct vote on that. We rely on the scientists to do their job, and I think they're doing a very good job. And so you're going to have people that's upset. I can see if they look through a tight lens, then I understand where they're coming from. I've got kids, I've got grandkids, but if you look at the overall perspective to get behind this virus, we do not need to have politics involved in this. We need to actually let the scientists dictate, and everybody get their shots if they can get their shots. If they can't get their shots, then please wear a mask.
Then you obviously did not hear that the nurses are telling you that everybody who's getting the vaccine are getting the...
Madam Clerk, will you please mute everybody? We will turn the microphones back on. This is
You're on mute, Joey.
Hello.
Thank you for pointing out that I was on mute, and I apologize. This meeting has been conducted with utmost respect for everybody's perspective and point of view. I am not going to let it devolve right now near the end of the meeting into a shouting match and out of control who can talk the loudest. Everyone has had their opportunity to speak. I will open it back up for more public comment, but there is not going to be any dialogue either way, back or forth. If members of the public want to ask questions, go right ahead. They are not going to be answered. We are not going to break the rules now because you want immediate answers on a subject matter that the commission that has been pointed out on a number of occasions today and previously does not have the authority to overturn that mask mandate. That is the state law. That is a fact. That's not conjecture. You may not like it, and that is unfortunate, but that is the truth. Now, I'm going to open it back up. You can unmute everybody. If anybody who has not already spoken wants the opportunity to speak, I will allow you to do so at this time, but there will not be a back and forth dialogue on this. Okay, Madam Clerk, will you please open it back up for anyone who has not already spoke? Yeah. Is there anyone else who has not already spoke on this subject?
Hello.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Please identify yourself. You have 1 minute.
I am Stephanie Elshamary. I wanted to state the fact that Wayne County is only one of a handful of counties that is actually having a mask mandate. It's not the entire state and it's not a law. I work within the Henry Ford Health System and we have not seen an emerging number of COVID cases. Neither has my colleagues in the Beaumont system. So to say that we need to get behind this virus like it's a huge pandemic and a huge issue right now is completely false. We have lived the entire summer normal, nobody wearing masks, but all of a sudden school starts and we want to put masks on people like there's just a crazy amount of numbers going up. You're not looking at the death count. You're looking at cases. Just like a normal flu season, this is what we're seeing in the hospital. People coming into the hospital who are over 60, 70 years old with health issues because of being sick with the flu or with COVID. You're not behind. You're not.
Ma'am, I believe you've
following the
already
science.
spoken, ma'am.
I don't care. You're not following the science. You're telling us to follow the science. And you're not even looking at facts. And I work in the health system. I've worked all through this COVID pandemic. So don't tell me what I've experienced is wrong. There's so many nurses speaking out and on this call right now saying the same thing. We see this day after day. You don't. You have not been in the hospital.
Madam Clerk.
Point of order, Mr. Chair. My question to you is that many of these individuals are speaking again. They're not really identifying themselves. I would just like to ask the General Counsel, when is a motion to adjourn in order? Felicia?
I haven't been talked to yet.
Several of us like to talk.
Okay, thank you.
We will attempt to hear everybody that has not yet spoken. And just to clarify, no one ever said it's a state law that masks should be mandated. What is said that the state law allows the health director to declare that. It does not allow the county commission to declare that or to overturn it. That was what was said. That is not up for debate. We're not going to get into that discussion at this point. I will allow others who have not yet spoken up to 1 minute to address this body. Is there anyone who has not yet spoken in public comment that would like to take a minute? Please identify yourself. Madam Clerk, will you please time them? And we will get through this meeting, everybody. Just please be patient. Go right ahead, whoever is next.
Yes, I would like to state my name.
Mute everyone, then unmute everyone. You can unmute everyone at one time.
Go ahead, sir.
I'm sorry. My name is Dave Martin. I'm calling on behalf of my wife, who wrote a note to an email to cover the comments made by Basham, and she was cut off. Her note was cut off within about 15 seconds of the 1 minute limit. And I would love the clerk to readdress that comment from Shirley Martin about Basham. Thank you.
Hello there, this is Mark Sosnowski. May I speak?
Yes, go right ahead, Mr. Sosnowski.
Okay, I'm from Dearborn Heights, and I agree with the last speaker that there's two callers who had a comment about a commissioner. I don't know all the circumstances, but it was clear that it was like the Bonk show and they were terminated early. I think it's shameful that the commission would not. Well, first I'd like to acknowledge you for taking our comments, but I think it's shameful that we have to wait, or you cannot wait for another 30 seconds for a email to be read.
Sir, did you submit an email
the other
that was
comment I
read
have
today?
to make is,
Yes.
well, I have to go now. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Next person. Is there anyone else that cares to comment?
This is Tim Riley. My comment is to address Raymond Basham's comment last week. He said, shut your pie hole and get your damn shot, in response to public emails being read about medical choice. So that was his comment. That was the statement that got left out of the previous email. So I demand a public apology for this disrespectful behavior of an elected official towards his constituents.
Madam Clerk, next. Anyone else? Go right ahead.
Yes. Hi, my name is Emma Feifelsky. I am a resident of Redford Township. I just wanted to express my thankfulness to you guys for allowing this long public comment. I know it's kind of overwhelming since this is the unusual, but I just want to urge you guys that this is a really important opportunity for you to really hear your citizens. I know I have never been as engaged with my community as I am in these days and these times because of the urgency of these mandates. And so I just really like to encourage you all to really hear us, that your citizens are actually standing up and communicating to you in ways we have never done before. And it's important that you really hear our voice because you are our representatives. that is your role. And I would just like to caution you from ignoring us and pushing off the things that have so consistently been stated today. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Is there anyone else? Hearing none. Madam Clerk, next item, please.
Reconsiderations.
Are there any reconsiderations? Any reconsiderations from today's meeting? Hearing none, next item.
Remarks by members.
Any remarks from members today? Are there any members that care to comment at this time?
I do.
Commissioner Haydes?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I've been sitting here and listening to the public remark, and I felt I always been very proud American citizen because of what we have. Many other nations don't have the freedom to speak what's on their mind, wrong or right. We have the freedom to agree and disagree. And we did in the past on many hot issues, and we overcome, we in the end make good decision. It's what's make this country the greatest country on earth. Today, I've been listening and respectfully to everyone. They have the right to speak their mind. Some of them are very reasonable in how they express their opinion. Some of them take the extreme die-hard of the issue without evaluating the responsibility we all have. All what I'm asking today and everybody to calm down, the majority rule with the respect of the minority, and we have to follow the law and
It's not a law.
try to deal with the issue in the best way we can for the sake of our children, our senior citizen, everybody, our armed forces. So it's an issue we need to keep the debate going, and I know in the end we'll reach, in a civil way, we'll reach the right decision to overcome this difficult time. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Haydes. Commissioner Varga?
Thank you. Ways and Means Committee will be postponed until the 14th of September.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Thank
Any
you.
other commissioners want to address the body under remarks by members at this time?
Karen Marecki has her hand up.
I do see Commissioner Marecki, and I'm going to recognize Commissioner Marecki at this time. Well, she's apparently finding her mute button. I'll recognize Commissioner Baker McCormick. Commissioner Baker McCormick to be followed by Commissioner Marecki. Commissioner Baker McCormick, your hand was up. Do you care to comment? Let's go back to Commissioner Marecki.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Yeah, for some reason, my Wi-Fi cut out there when you were talking to me for some reason. I would like to make a few comments. And the reason being, I have received a ton of emails, and many of them from my own constituents in Northville and Livonia. I've tried to respond to all of them, but the last couple of days, they've been very overwhelming. And I just haven't had the time to go back and write each person. But my comments are this. Last summer, school districts were given the task of creating programs for their kids to be educated for the fall of 2020. The school districts then began deciding if children would be educated in class, virtually, or a combination of both. School districts then monitored throughout the year what was happening in their schools as far as COVID numbers and made adjustments accordingly. Yes, the governor closed all the high schools at some point, but other than that, it was up to the school districts. Some schools never offered in-class learning, and others were creative in offering different options. So we fast forward to this. Again, school districts were told under the direction of the county to decide what they wanted to do about masking students when and if they return to the school setting. Many school districts worked tirelessly these past months to determine what they should do as their students return to the school. Some of these districts voted on this subject matter as late as August 23rd, Monday, August 23rd, in their decision on what to do with the masking. On August 24th, at our Health and Human Services meeting, we were told that the county would not be requiring a mask mandate in schools for a couple reasons. However, 3 days later, on August 27th, a mask mandate for all schools, public and private, was issued by the county. I'm disappointed that after all these months and after all the work school districts did, remember, they were told to do this, to create a program for their kids with paternal input, their entire decision-making was taken out of their hands. Some of the school districts decided to require masks. Some districts were going to carefully monitor their children to see what numbers, if the numbers were going up before making adjustments. It doesn't matter what the school districts decided. The concern on my part is that the local control of school boards and superintendents was just abruptly taken away. Board of Education members are elected by the families they serve. They are accountable to their constituents. They are not stupid and they do their homework. The school boards I know work with parents and evaluate data and input. They should have been given a chance to run their own schools. I believe in local control, and I'm very disappointed this decision was taken away from the school system, especially at the very last minute. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Commissioner. Any other commissioners care to comment? Is that you, Commissioner Baker McCormick?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. I couldn't get my phone unmuted.
No problem. Go right ahead.
Thank you. I just want to again announce that the Wayne County Commission Youth Council applications are due by September 16th. And if you have any candidates, any young people between the age of, in the grades of 10th through 12th that are interested in the Wayne County Youth Council, please submit their information to my office by September 16th. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Dobb.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I just want to make a comment regarding the decisions for the mask mandate and the individual school districts. I know that a lot of school districts made their decisions very late in the summer because they were waiting on guidance from the Wayne County Health Department. I had several members of my school board reach out asking when they would receive guidance from our Wayne County Health Department, and they were very happy to receive the mandate. So I just wanted to comment on that. And that's all I have. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Hey, thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Baydoun.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. As a parent of a high school student who's in class right now and wearing a mask, I understand the frustration of these parents, and I feel with you. This is a very, very difficult situation that we find ourselves in. We're in this together, and we need to work together. I understand that the Wayne County Health Department came out with this mandate, and I just would like to say that we are the legislative body. We don't have, that's true, we do fund the health department, but we cannot reverse this decision. We can offer our input. My daughter is not very happy about wearing a mask every day. I just want you to know that. But this is what the school board and the city of Dearborn voted on. And they voted on this before the county health department came out. I would like to also, since my son's wedding was brought into this discussion, I would like to say this is for the record. My son's wedding was postponed 3 times. It was supposed to happen in April of 2020. And I postponed it 3 times out of abundance of caution. And I didn't want to put anybody at risk. I insisted that I can only have my son's wedding after the vaccine had been out for several months. All the guests that were invited to my son's wedding were fully vaccinated. Some of the guests were wearing masks. One of them is my own brother who was fully vaccinated, but he's paranoid and he was wearing a mask. I did not mandate that every guest come to the wedding and wear a mask. It was up to them since most of them were fully vaccinated. And this was not an event for children, with all due respect. This is an event for adults who are fully vaccinated. I just needed to set the record straight on this issue. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Vice Chair Pro Tem Baydoun. Is there anyone else from the commission who would like to comment under member remarks at this time? Hearing none, I want to thank the commission, the staff, and especially Clerk Pam Lane for a stellar job in sharing all those communications with us and for giving everyone an opportunity who wish to be heard a chance to be heard. With that in mind, Madam Clerk, next item.
Adjournment.
Move adjournment. Move adjournment.
Moved by Commissioner Clark Coleman, supported by Commissioner Kinlock, that we adjourn. So ordered without objection. We are adjourned.
Aye.